3, 2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday the 21st of July and it's National Junk Food Day. And a big happy birthday to Cat Stevens, or Yusuf Islam, Josh Hartnett and Paloma Faith.
7.
There was some really positive news on vaccines yesterday as the research team in Oxford produced promising results for their clinical trials, and Boris described plans to secure sufficient doses of vaccine from various sources once the testing's completed. He was still sounding a note of caution though, and as you know, he hates to exaggerate.
Obviously I'm hopeful, I got my fingers crossed, but to say that I'm 100% confident that we'll get a vaccine this year or indeed next year is, alas, just an exaggeration. We're not there yet.
Meanwhile, in the Commons, Matt Lavish Holidays Hancock was warning of trouble ahead from the anti-vax movement.
Those who promulgate lies about dangers of vaccines that are safe and have been approved, they are threatening lives, and we should all in this House stand shoulder to shoulder against the anti-vax movement.
The long-awaited Russia report on election interference is due to be published at 10:30 today. Meanwhile, the diplomatic row with China over Hong Kong rumbles on as Dominic Raab announced that the extradition treaty between the UK and Hong Kong was being suspended immediately after the new Chinese national security law was introduced.
Mr. Speaker, the national security law does not provide legal or judicial safeguards in such cases, and I'm also concerned about the potential reach of the extraterritorial provisions. So I have consulted with the Home Secretary, the Justice Secretary and the Attorney General, and the government has decided to suspend the extradition treaty immediately and indefinitely.
Boris was being a little softer on China, even after the Huawei issue and the ongoing row over Hong Kong.
What we won't do, as I say, is completely abandon our policy of engagement with China. China is a giant fact of geopolitics. It's going to be a giant factor in our lives, in the lives of our children and our grandchildren. So we've got to have a calibrated response.
After a shambolic Fox News interview, Donald Trump has decided that what we need to see is more of him and is planning to restart his coronavirus briefing today. In the meantime, he spoke in the Oval Office and made arguably less sense than usual. He's speaking here about federal authorities being sent into Chicago to deal with long-running gun violence.
The fact is, they're restricted from doing anything. They can't do anything.
So what are you planning on doing?
Well, I'm going to do something, that I can tell you.
He also continues to paint a picture of an America in chaos as federal officers battle protesters in Portland, even though he's the actual president and has been for nearly 4 years.
This is worse than Afghanistan, by far. This is worse than anything anyone's ever seen. All run by the same liberal Democrats. And you know what? If Biden got in, that would be true for the country. The whole country would go to hell.
Well, with over 140,000 Americans dead from coronavirus and almost 4 million cases in the country, it doesn't sound like hell's actually that far away, pal. 4. Johnny Depp's trial against the Sun newspaper continues, and Amber Heard spent the day giving evidence. She testified that Johnny had threatened to kill her many times and said that there'd been verbal and physical abuse in the relationship, leaving her in fear of her life. In court, she described Johnny Depp as very charismatic and said he blamed all his actions on a self-created third party that he called the Monster. She also said he was intensely jealous and would accuse her of having affairs with various actors and co-stars that she worked with. Apparently, he had derogatory nicknames for some of them. Leonardo DiCaprio was Pumpkinhead, while Channing Tatum was Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head. He's sarcastic and moody at times. Ow! But he can control his body parts when they're detached.
You would not believe what I've been through tonight.
The case continues.
3.
There were 3 games in the Premier League last night, with Wolves beating Crystal Palace, Everton beating Sheffield United and Newcastle drawing with Brighton. Meanwhile, over in Germany, the footballers of Borussia Dortmund have brought us a truly spectacular internet event. It's to celebrate the signing of English player Jude Bellingham on loan from Birmingham City. But don't let that get in the way of the music. legend Chrissie Hynde of The Pretenders has a new album coming out, and she spoke to Nihal on BBC 5 Live as he asked her how different she was on stage.
Well, that's impossible for me to say, but I'd say that when I'm on stage, I'm just more of who I am. It's more obnoxious, yes. In a rock band, you just become more of who you actually are on stage. And if, you just hope someone likes it.
Everyone's favourite Swedish teen evangelist Greta Thunberg has been awarded the Greta, you say it.
I am incredibly honoured to have been rewarded the Gulbenkian Prize for Humanity.
Cheers, that's the one. And it comes with a pretty substantial prize fund of €1 million. That's a hell of a lot of pocket money. Off to Hollister, Greta?
The prize money, which is €1 million, that is more money than I can even begin to imagine. But all the prize money will be donated through my foundation to different organizations and projects who are working to help people on the front lines affected by the climate crisis.
This has been the Smart 7. Be smart, wear a mask. We've got an Alexa skill now, so enable us and then just say, Alexa, play the Smart 7. We're back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.